Hey guys, welcome to Late Night on Base. I'm your host, Bill DeVol. Today we had the Doomer team on the podcast, one of the most iconic and classic Wojak memes out there. This base project is a CTO, but they are not giving up and they have a lot of exciting news to share, not only at On-Chain Summit and what they got going on, but also about their Doomsday Diaries and a lot of other stuff. So stay tuned to find out more about this project. All right, everyone, welcome to another edition of Late Night on Base. Today we are honored to have Jit from the Doomer team on the pod. Jit, how you doing today, man?
Not too bad. I was up late night drinking some Monster and eating fast food as a true degen. But other than my stomach feeling a bit doomed, not doing too bad today.
I mean, that is the true DGen ways, and I'm proud of you because that's the only way to do it. Fast food, late night. Hopefully, you got some DGen trades in. It's nothing better than that, man. Super stoked to have you on, man. The Doomer team is someone who's reached out, and I just been loving kind of like the organic vibe you guys have been doing. And Doomer is actually one of the memes that has been around for a long time, and we'll get into the meaning behind it, but it's everywhere, especially on 4chan, and a lot of people when they see the Doomer meme, they know exactly what's going on. But yeah, if you don't mind, so maybe someone's watching this on Spotify for the first time, hearing about Doomer. Maybe they're on Apple Podcasts, maybe they're on YouTube, and they're interested in learning more about what is Doomer. If you don't mind, Jit, why don't you kind of explain, what is Doomer?
Definitely. So as you mentioned, in late 2018, an anonymous 4chan user posted the character Doomer to the board Biz. And Doomer, it's often discussed on various 4chan and Reddit forums in the context of mental health, drug addiction, economic strife. But basically, it's a Wojak meme. When people see the logo, a lot of times they've seen it on the internet. But it's typically characterized as an early 20 male with a bleak outlook on the world, lack of career advancement hope. And it's commonly used to convey pessimism, or as Doomer would say, a realist perspective. So we're really not just another meme token. It's a community driven movement. It embodies this ethos of feeling doomed and turning that gloom into gold. So our narrative is rooted in the shared experiences of struggle, resilience, the relentless pursuit of making something meaningful out of all the chaos. And Duma represents that darker yet profoundly human side of the crypto world. We embrace the doom and transform it into opportunities for connection, growth, and even humor.
I like it. I think that's a powerful within all, the fun context of the meme, there's a powerful mission laying down deep in there. And that's obviously no matter how tough life gets, because life is a struggle, it's not all roses, you can still come together and rise to the occasion. That's how I look at it. So I do feel it's a good meaning that no matter how tough life gets, keep on going. Don't let obstacles prevent you from achieving what you want, no matter how bleak things may look, come together. There will be light at the end of the tunnel. Is that kind of how you personally feel about it too?
Definitely. It's all about kind of that like being resilient in the face of adversity and struggle. I think, especially in today's state of world, a lot of people feel doomed for a variety of reasons. So you can kind of take it a lot of different angles and sort of open to personal interpretation. But ultimately, like something that all of us can relate with is that life involves struggle. But at the same time, that struggle doesn't always have to be seen as a bad thing because greatness isn't usually built on joy, but rather it's forged in these fires of resilience. So I'd agree. And I'd say embrace the struggle. That's where the strength lies to achieve the extraordinary. And like building something remarkable, it's usually not a walk in the park. So next time you do get hit with that adversity, if life knocks you down, remember that that's where greatness comes from. So try to embrace the struggle, admire its beauty, learn from the pain, and just keep pushing. That's the Doomer way, and it's what we're all about.
I like it, man. That is the Doomer way. Learn from the struggle. Life's all about learning. Don't let these obstacles prevent you from achieving what you want. I like to say in a lot of my daily life, failure can be your biggest teacher in life. and I failed in life, and so but I've got back up, and I'm thankful for everything that I've have fucked up in the past because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that. So super cool. I really do like that message. Talk to me, a little bit about the project itself in terms of like, I'm very curious. A couple things. You guys are a CTO, correct?
Correct. Yes.
So explain to me kind of what happened. Was the initial depth, and maybe for a brand new listener, can you maybe explain what a CTO is, and in Doomer's case, how did that all go down?
Yeah. So the CTO stands for community takeover. And the idea is basically in crypto, there's a lot of scams, especially with meme coins. There's a lot of people with bad intentions who are just trying to make quick money. They don't care about the community or anyone else that buys the token. They are willing to profit at everyone else's expense. So what they'll do is they'll launch a coin where they control the liquidity. Sometimes it even gets as ugly as in the contract code, people can't sell the token. So the chart looks perfect as people keep buying and they can't sell. And then whenever that dev decides that get the game's over, he can either dump the majority of the tokens that he has. If he or she has access to the liquidity pool, they can directly pull the liquidity pool, effectively making everyone's tokens worthless. So this happens very often. But the idea of the CTO is kind of like sticking a middle finger back to that scammer and saying, "Hey, like, thanks for making this token. Thanks for scamming all of us. But we actually think there's potential here. And now that you're out of the way, we're all going to get together. We're going to take this over. We're going to build something real, and we're all going to make more money without you." So that's basically the idea of the CTO. And there's a lot of people I think are starting to have negative opinions of CTOs because there are these fake CTOs out there where the dev secretly holds supply, but he's just letting the community think that they're out. And a lot of other CTOs, it's just there isn't enough momentum going. It's not possible for a team to randomly be formed of these people that bought into the coin to actually make something meaningful that can go the distance in the crypto world. But that's where I think Doomer is really unique and really special. And it really felt like all the stars aligning. So we launched on April 28th. I was lucky enough to find the coin on Deck Screener. And I remember when I first found it, before I even knew that it was a CTO, before the CTO happened, I was so amazed that I looked up Doomer, and on any chain, this meme that's been around that a lot of people can see it, they instantly know what it is, they relate to it. It hadn't been capitalized on yet in like two whole meme cycles. There was no prominent Doomer coin. Every Doomer coin out there was 100K or less. So this one was launching on Base. Personally, I'm a Base maxi. So I joined the Telegram. There's only 18 people. It was super early. And before I even bought in, the dump happened. So I watched it, like the dev dumped his tokens, chart crashed like 90%. People were freaking out. The few people that were there were freaking out. But at the same time, I saw them quickly like turn that gloom into gold. And I think really that narrative stemmed from day one, when the people who are in the Telegram decided to make a new website, apply for a CoinGecko listing. They were all on the same page as me. They realized that there was this potential for Doomer. And at the time, I personally was just kind of lurking in the background. Like I wasn't saying much. I just saw this opportunity. And as I saw the CTO forming, I just started kind of quietly adding my supply in the background, seeing the potential of this. But I got more and more involved. I made it more known how much supply I held and that I was buying it up, that I see the potential. But what was really magical and what made me want to get involved was the quality of people that had found this project as early as they did and then all got rugged. So we had this guy Trader. He went by Trader, but he lived in Greece, lives in Greece. He had 4 years of crypto experience doing it full time. He had been very close working on other core teams, and he was kind of taking the charge in the beginning. But then we had these PhD engineers that were in on it. We had these other just older folks that seemed a lot more mature and calm about the situation and realized that this was more of an opportunity than something to be upset about. So I could kind of just sense the energy in the air that the people who found this coin early, if these people stay, that we already have a really strong team here and we can make this something really special. And I can go into this either later or now, but over time, I slowly became sort of that lead position. I just took on more and more responsibility, got more and more involved. And eventually, the that trader guy who was initially getting things going, he realized that the potential of this is beyond the level of effort that he's willing to are able to put in on a daily basis. And he basically handed it over to me with the rest of the core team's approval. But that's basically how we got started. So the dev dumped his tokens, but the few people that were in the community, they saw the potential of this. They started buying up back that supply. And within the first couple days, so like the dump happened around like I think between a 100 to 200K market cap. It dumped all the way down to like 20 to 40K. But then it quickly got back to that 200K where the scammer left. And then over the next few days, we had a launch pump all the way up to 2.4 million before we started coming down and going back into consolidation. So there's a lot of potential here. And I think what's most important is that all the data is on chain. So the liquidity is burnt, the contract is renounced. So the original dev who launched this in an attempt to take people's money, he's truly out of the way. And now we are all going to the moon without him in true CTO fashion.
I like that, and I do say, especially to new people coming into the base ecosystem, CTOs, if done correctly, are very bullish, extremely bullish. And the reason why, not all CTOs, of course, but the reason why strong ones like yourselves are in good position to do extremely well is you now create a collective of like-minded people who are all working for the same common goal. And if people put in more effort, they tend to appreciate things more in life. And so when a traditional project runs, there's a traditional dev. Yeah, you still have people who are super into it, but it's not like the same when now they are part of the core team or one of the voices that the core team like looks for. It's that little added layer that collectively, if you have more and more people who believe this project's their own, they're going to come together and really push harder than they would as a passive investor. So how many people, I guess you're the lead basically, you've taken over. How many people are in the core team of Doomer?
Yeah, so we have 18 people in our core team. Different people have different responsibilities. So some are more on that more administrative side. We have a few graphic designers. We have two PhD engineers, like they have doctorate degrees in engineering, and they help us build some of the bots that we have in our Telegram group. So yeah, we have a total of 18 members. Each person sort of adds their own value and their own skill set. And I really see my job as just kind of getting the best out of everyone and making sure that we come together and reach our full potential as a team. But really talented people from all different walks of life all over the world. And this team is one of the biggest reasons why it's so easy for me to go all in on this and keep pushing every day.
Amazing. Decentralization at its finest, people all around the world coming together, working on Doomer to make it one of the top projects on base. I love, love, love seeing that. I want to kind of turn some attention to, a lot of the stuff that I've heard about what you guys are working on, and things that are coming up that I think are extremely bullish, and I want the listeners to know. So why don't we start off with? I think you guys have some sort of on-chain summer project. I think it's called like a Doomsday Diary. Can you elaborate further on that?
Definitely. So our on-chain summer project is the Doomsday Diary. It's basically a social platform for you to share your doom story, learn from others' mistakes, and have a laugh. So how it works, the website is diary.doomercto.xyz. It's also linked on our website. But basically, you see a cool animation, you hit the enter button, and you get taken to the feed of posts. There you see people who have shared their own doom story. You can read through them. You can react to them. You can log into the site through Coinbase. You can remain anonymous. You don't have to log in. Anyone can create a post without needing to log in. But if you want, you can log in through Coinbase and attach your screen name on Coinbase to your post or to your reactions. But basically, the goal is just to kind of increase that social element on chain and bring more people together because we believe that even if you're not a Doomer holder or a believer in Doomer, that you likely have a Doom story, as most people do in crypto. And we want to just make a environment where people can feel free to share those stories and read other people's stories. So it's a really simple project. It's basically just like a message board or a Reddit board, but it's all focused on Doom stories, and people can actually attach their ETH wallet. So if someone's story really resonated with you, you can donate directly to them. And we're in the process, I don't want to promise anything yet, but we're in the process of actually being able to turn each of those individual story posts into an NFT where the mint proceeds would go to the original Doom story author. So it kind of just encourages community participation, and encourages people to actually write their stories so that other people can read, learn, and laugh from them.
It's a simple concept, but it's really interesting. I don't think, and it's kind of novel. I mean, I've been in crypto for a long, long time, and I don't necessarily know other projects that have actually taken the lead on it. And I think it's cool, man. I really do. Who actually thought of the idea? Was that you or someone else on the core team?
Yeah, so we've had these kind of ideas floating for a while that there should be a space for this. But it's actually another member of our core team. He's also a huge whale and supporter of this coin. He goes by Boss Big, but he's the one that coined the name Doomsday Diary. And it was my idea that, wait, like this would actually be perfect for Unchained Summer because we weren't sure at the time if we were going to participate or not as a meme token. But I thought this would be a great way to participate. It's relevant to the narrative, and as soon as Boss pitched the name Doomsday Diary, it all just kind of clicked in my head. And I was like, yep, we're doing this.
Boss Big, shout out to you if you're listening, which I think you will be, but shout out to you. I dig the
He
idea.
definitely will be.
Unbuildable digs the idea. Super cool, man. I actually want to check that out myself. And I think the whole twist of eventually getting an NFT would be pretty cool. Everyone has a Doomsday, story, and I think that's a good way of kind of bringing more community members to know what you guys are doing and kind of sharing common stories and values and kind of uh, talking all about that. So I think it's a really good idea. Another thing that I happen to notice too in your guys's project is your community members are pretty active, and I know you guys have contests. I think you guys reward members for being active. So I kind of want to know more about that. What exactly do members have to do to get rewarded?
Sure. Yeah. So we do have a very vibrant and active community. We have over 4,000 people in our Telegram group. And we think that the best way to spend money, and let me preface that by saying we don't have any taxes on our coin. We don't have a form of collecting money on every transaction or just raising money on its own. So all of the money that we do give away or spend comes from the whales. It comes from the community. It comes from people who want to donate a bit of their own bag, invest it back into the project because they see the full potential of where this can go. But that being said, we think one of the best ways to spend money is to reward the community, reward those who are active, and we do this by holding constant contests. So we will always have at least one contest live. In the past, we've done a bunch of meme and GIF contests. We have a Telegram channel called Doomer Memes where you can only send images. So that's also a great library to pull from our memes. But basically, all people have to do is make a meme and send it in the channel, and they're automatically entered. And then the core team kind of goes through all those memes. We vote and we pick the best ones. And there's always prizes. So, like I said, we did the meme contest, but we've also done a straight up giveaway. We've done a raffle. We've done a gift contest, a video contest. And currently, but they'll probably be over by the time this podcast is released, but ending in the week of July 19th, we have a Doomsday Diary contest where all you have to do is make a post and react to a few other posts, and you're automatically entered. So we really want to, we think that community is everything and that you can't go anywhere unless there are many people that are active in your community. So there's a lot of people that like see the vision, they relate to the meme, they're down to hold it and wait. But we really want to reward those who are in the Telegram every day, who are participating, and who are contributing to making Doomer better and bigger. So we always have prizes for like the top three, whether it be a diary contest or meme contest, tweet contest. But then we also reward effortful entries. So basically, with this like diary contest, anyone who has an entry where me or someone else on the core team can tell that they're like being genuine, that they actually spent time writing this and it wasn't just like a bullshit, I'm going to write 2 sentences to enter the contest. Every single one of those people will get rewarded $5 to $10. And then whatever entry we think speaks to us the most or was the best based on team member votes, that person will receive $100. And since people can attach their ETH wallet to the diary, it's really simple. We're just going to deposit the money directly into their wallet. But for other contests, we just DM people on Telegram. We always make a big announcement about who wins. And we think these contests are a great way to just keep people involved and give back to the community. And some of our best content in terms of like memes and content we use on socials has actually been community formed and originated from these contests. And I haven't released what our blackjack table is going to look like yet for Unchained Summit. Kind of want to keep that a secret, but a lot of the designs do actually incorporate memes that community members made. So I think it's really cool how we do have a graphics team, and if I need a meme made really quickly for a specific scenario, I have people I can ask. But at the same time, some of our best content, some of the content we're most proud about, has just come naturally through these contests. So we think that the contests are awesome, and we have no plan to stop doing them anytime soon.
Yeah, I don't think you guys should stop anytime soon. I think engaging your core team, your core loyal holders in the community, some of your most active people who show up day in and day out, and rewarding them with opportunity to, contribute is extremely vital. Not just important, it's vital. You need those people. That's your lifeblood. That's the people who are your most loyal holders. And not everyone's going to be able to buy a whale position in a project. Some people, economic means are lower, but what they can do is contribute and put in the effort. And it's great that you guys noticed that. I think more projects probably should do that. It doesn't really cost the project too much, and in turn, you get great content and you get loyalty, which is great. Yeah, so I mean that's a really good idea. I do
Yeah,
want to turn. Oh,
or
sorry.
one quick thing I wanted to add is I think as a result of these contests or just this community involvement in general, we've had a couple people that now have these full-on doomer characters. And I think you see these type of characters in a lot of strong meme coin projects where someone adopts this persona of like a variation of your meme. But we have a Captain Doomer, and he's basically like he shares educational memes. He has a thread on his Twitter where it teaches people kind of how to stay safe, what to look out for. But at the same time, it's like kind of funny, and he presents it in a meme format. And then we also have a mech doomer who plays the character of like being a Wojak that's working a dead end job at McDonald's, and he's trying to stack his doomer to quit his dead end job. So we have people that are starting to adopt these personas around doomer. And I think that just really adds to the narrative and community feel, and it's been really cool to see.
I agree. I want to touch on you individually. I also do want to touch on before we end on Chain Summit and your guys' role, but I do think it's massively important for the Doomer community to kind of know who their leader is. Jit, who is the guy basically pushing Doomer to become one of the top memes on base. So, Jit, I'm curious as well to know, who is Jit? What's your experience been in crypto? Who are you all about?
Yeah, for sure. So I am a product manager by profession. I guess going before that, I'm a California native. I grew up in the Bay Area, went to school in San Diego, love San Diego. I'm currently back in the Bay Area, which has been really awesome. And like I said, I'm a product manager by profession. So I studied computer science and business in school. As a product manager, I actually work in the sports software industry on fantasy products, but I work with designers and engineers. And it's kind of similarly professionally, it's my job to kind of extract the best out of all these people cross functionally, and deliver that final product and connect all those dots in the product development process. So I think a lot of those skills translate into the crypto world where I similarly feel like I'm connecting a lot of dots. I have a lot of people who are talented at different things, and I'm trying to bring them together under a united vision. So in terms of crypto, I entered crypto in like 2016, and it was actually because of a school project. I was researching the dark web, and personally, like I have kind of an obsessive personality, so when I get into something, I get super into it. And I remember once I learned about the dark web, I learned about crypto, kind of its role in the dark web. I realized that just with how everything is turning to technology, and I've also just been a huge technology fanboy since I was a little kid growing up in the Bay Area. But I realized as everything in our world is getting more technologized, it just made sense to me that money is eventually going to get technologized. And back then, like I didn't understand the decentralized aspect of it, the community aspect of it. Meme coins weren't even a thing. But I just thought of the idea like everything's turning to technology. It makes a ton of sense that money is going to head in this direction. This thing sounds cool. And back then it was like less than $1,000. And I had no idea it could explode. I'm talking about Bitcoin, by the way. But Bitcoin was less than $1,000. I had no idea it could explode to where it has. But I just remember being super obsessed with it to the point where actually in one of my classes, which was more of like a laid back class, they actually had an intervention for me. Like I remember I walked in the door and there was like my name and it was like, welcome, we love you, we're here for you. And we all sat in a circle and they talked about how they were worried for me because I was just like on this crypto stuff 24/7. And it was kind of a joke. But at the same time, looking back, I think it's kind of funny because if everyone else just got in back then, they'd all be very rich now. But it was from a good place. But my point is, I was always just very obsessed with this stuff, and that was back in like 2016, 2017, and I've kind of stuck with it. Each cycle, I get more and like into the trenches, more involved with the smaller cap stuff, more involved in actually building things myself. So this is my first time, my first cycle where I am the straight up leader for a project. I've been involved here and there in projects last cycle, some things in February and March leading up to Doomer. But Doomer is the full first time that I'm just all in. Like I see the vision. I think that I can be the person that takes it there. So in a sense, I am learning as I go, as it's my first time leading a coin. But at the same time, I've been in this world for a long time. I don't get phased by the volatility. I understand the macroeconomics with the the daily volume comparison of Solana and Base. I understand the opportunity that's presented, and I want to take it. And at the same time, I don't have like uh, I'm not ride or die on this. Like I will be okay if this doesn't work out. So I am all in. All my focus is there, but also I'm not coming from a place of need or stress. Like if this does, God forbid, go to zero, if Coinbase somehow doesn't become the best layer two network, I don't see that how that happens. But if that does happen, this experience would still be worth it for me just because of all that I've learned and from like the sales, branding, business side, all the amazing people I've met in the base ecosystem and family. And I'm loving every bit of this. So like the money and like Doomer actually getting to where I think it will go, that's all just going to be the icing on the cake. So I guess I just want people to know that I'm coming from a place of security. I'm already mentally committed and I'm willing to publicly disclose here. Like I'm committed to holding 1% of the market cap for life just to stay based. And just because all that Doomer has provided me in my life today in terms of like fulfillment and passion. And I don't see any scenario where I'm selling any of my tokens anytime soon, unless, God forbid, something happened to my family or a family emergency. But I'm just someone who's I can have a normal job. I can make money a different way. This is just something I'm really into. I love it. I see the vision. So I'm all in terms of my focus and passion. But at the same time, I'll be okay either way. So there's not going to be a scenario where I get too stressed or too worried and pull out. I've been in this space for a long time. I know how the ropes go, and I'm totally here for the ride.
I love it, and you could tell the passion that you have, the determination, the grit, and you're not desperate, and that's all great recipes for success. Desperation leads to poor choices. Say you're struggling for money or you're just like, get overwhelmed. It's nice to know that you are not in that position. You won't get overwhelmed. You take a more business approach, but also you're very passionate. So I think, like I said, I talk to founders, leaders in this space all the time. You have the pedigree to make this project do really well. This is the type of traits that I think a project needs. So very cool to see. So before we hop off, because we do like to keep these things 30 minutes or less, I know you guys are going to be at the On-Chain Summit in San Francisco. Do you want to just kind of give a little brief talk on to what people can expect at On-Chain Summit?
Definitely. So if you don't know about On-Chain Summit yet, you're probably living under a rock, but that's okay. Go ahead and check out onchainsummit.io. It's a 3-day conference, but Doomer's role in it, we will be sponsoring a blackjack table. We will also be part of the meme roundtable, and I'll be getting to present the Doomsday Diary On-Chain Summer project on the stage during the demo day. At the casino night, like I said, we'll be sponsoring a blackjack table with our own custom felt. The designs will incorporate some of the memes that have come from our community and contests. I'm super happy to eventually share those designs with everyone. And I think a cool twist that Doomer is doing is that we actually arranged for these high quality custom Doomer chips. They say you're doomed on them. They're like poker chips. And while people won't be playing with these chips, a dealer at every single table of the casino night will have a stack of Doomer chips. And at any point, if anyone loses all their money, their initial buy-in, they'll receive a Doomer chip, because losing all your money at a casino night is probably something that Doomer would do. So I think that just plays into the narrative. It's something a little fun that we're doing. But I'm really excited just to meet all the other projects and teams and all the attendees at the conference. We have 15 people representing Doomer, so we have a really strong group, and I'm excited to have a good time with them. And actually, leading up to the On-Chain Summit, next Thursday, or whenever you're hearing this, Thursday, July 25th in San Francisco, we're actually going to be having a activation party happy hour in partnership with Bitcoin on Base. Coinbase is actually going to be working with the On-Chain Summit team to set up a QR code where the attendees scan it. They get $10 of Doomer, $10 of Bitcoin on Base, and an NFT featuring both of us. And then for the rest of the happy hour, anyone that attends, it's open bar. There's going to be food, and all of this is free. So anyone in the San Francisco area, if you want to show up at 5 p.m. to the Howard on Thursday, July 25th, it's going to be free crypto, free drinks, and free food. You'll get to meet me and Brian from Bitcoin on Base. So it really doesn't get much better than that, and super excited for all the momentum that's leading into On-Chain Summit.
Awesome. Jit, I'm going to be at On-Chain Summit myself on that Saturday, so we'll definitely link up. I'll be doing a vlog. I'll be doing live podcasts there too. Have some special guests. So it'll be really interesting and really great. So we'll link up. Love to meet you in real life. And also, man, just a pleasure to have you on the podcast. Everyone, if you're on Spotify, please head on over to YouTube. On the YouTube page, we'll make sure to put the Doomers Telegram and Twitter or X information in the description, along with Late Night on Bases X account information. And if you haven't followed us, please, please, please follow us. It helps us produce more of these videos, amazing interviews such as Jit on Doomer. Any last thoughts, Jit, before we head out?
Yeah, thanks for having us. I think that voices like yours are really important in this space. You're kind of filling that gap of just general media coverage on the base ecosystem in general. And I think creators such as yourself are really doing a huge service for all the projects and for the whole network, really. So hats off to you. But I guess I want to just close by saying that Doomer, like I said, is not just another meme token. We really believe it's a movement. We're a collective of investors that are connecting value to this OG internet meme. And this meme resonates with many people in today's state of the world. So we're made up of builders, battlers, and believers. We have the utmost level of doom viction. And ultimately, we are all doomed. So come turn some of that gloom into gold with Doomer on Base.
I love it. All right, Jit. Thank you. And thank you everyone for watching another podcast with Late Night on Base. See you next time.